What's up? My name is Eric Butler. This channel is called Report and Opine. I am back, and from the Sun, oh my pod. How clever. Wendy Williams tells friends her highly publicized podcast has been canceled before launch amid health issues. And I think these health issues stem from a couple of years ago when she actually fainted on live TV, and she has been a media staple for many years now. She helped launch the career of Charlemagne the God, who of course is the star of the hugely popular Breakfast Club radio show out in New York. And from where I'm sitting, Wendy Williams is kind of like the Black Joan Rivers. But they say a source close to the former TV host exclusively told the U.S. Sun that Wendy Williams, whose podcast project was officially announced over summer 2022, recently told friends there is no podcast. Well, of course, because this is Wendy Williams. She doesn't want to do no podcast. You know that she obviously wants to go back on TV. It's strange because she is saying there is no podcast, but is also telling people she's going to return to TV. It's hard to figure out what is based in reality. An Instagram to promote the Wendy Experience podcast launched in July of 2022, and it contains a link to a website selling merchandise with the star's catchphrase and podcast branding. However, the site's Read More section about the podcast leads to a broken link that announces the account is suspended. So she doesn't really want to do a podcast. It's pretty clear. Like, she's not, she's a huge personality. She obviously would much rather do TV. The last time Wendy herself publicly addressed the project was back in November 2022 at a WBLS event. Don't know what that is. She told the audience that the Wendy Experience podcast will launch in the next few weeks. Lie detector test determined that was a lie. Wendy, who spent 2 months in a Malibu rehab after checking in for alleged severe alcoholism, was out drinking and bar hopping this past week. Interesting. I did not know that. Wendy's night out. One source had exclusively revealed to the U.S. Sun that Wendy was drinking Cosmos with a group she had met earlier that evening in New York City on Friday, March 17th. I guess you can cut her some slack because that's St. Patty's Day. Do we really expect Wendy? Is Wendy Williams a big St. Patty's Day girl? Apparently. I didn't know she was in rehab. I thought there was something I'm not saying that alcoholism isn't serious, but I thought, when she fainted on TV, I thought something much bigger was happening. But maybe that's from alcoholism? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. The source claimed that Wendy was completely by herself with the exception of her driver and bodyguard when she arrived at Fresco by Scotto. Okay, I guess that's some fancy New York restaurant. She was staring off into the distance until someone she knew happened to walk in. Later on in the evening, the group headed to the gay bar Townhouse. I think she is a gay icon. I think gay guys love this woman for whatever reason. Maybe it's because she looks like a drag queen. When the bartender asked her what she wanted to drink, she simply said, "Something to get me drunk," the onlooker added. Oh, dark. Okay, I guess she's relapsing. In a statement, Wendy's rep told the U.S. Sun Wendy was celebrating her upcoming new opportunities. She wanted to celebrate as she has things happening, making her feel like she has a new lease on life. Okay, so she comes out of rehab and starts drinking again, calling it a new lease on life. We'll see how this turns out. There are several projects coming down the pipeline, and she was celebrating those things. Wendy loves her fans and fully supports the LGBTQ community, which is a big part of her fan base. Of course, they have to go in there and say that she's going to play the card, and that's fine. It makes sense for her because we all know, she's kind of like a Lady Gaga type of figure, or Joan Rip. Gay guys love this stuff for whatever reason. Well, because she looks like a drag queen. Anyways, Wendy's rough road. Wendy has had a tough go in recent years. A financial guardian officially took control of her finances back in May of 2022 after a myriad of health issues. She also lost her iconic daytime talk show just months later in June. In December, the U.S. Sun revealed the identity of the guardian in control of Wendy's assets, guardianship expert and attorney Sabina Morrissey. Interesting. I think that's the same woman who had control of Bam Margera and a handful of other celebrities. I think this woman, fact check me on this, I think this woman is kind of a dark personality. Let's see. Cash control. Ailing Wendy Williams, permanent financial guardian, revealed as expert cuts off her ex and son Kevin 2022 from Fortune. Interesting. Okay, well, that's a different story, but I think this Sabina woman is, that's her hustle, is basically calling these stars crazy and taking control of their finances. I think she did it to Bam Margera. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe that'll be in a separate video. Multiple sources and court filings show the Guardian is in charge of the 58-year-old former TV host's estate, and as a result, she is responsible for who in Wendy's orbit can receive money and payments from her fortune. The top-notch expert's biography heralded Sabrina's, Sabrina's expertise in estate administration, guardianship, and litigation. Passionate about representing elderly clients and protecting them from fraud and abuse, she appears regularly on the behalf of New York state courts, helping them to obtain appropriate support in the home, safeguard their assets, and plan for the future, her biography read. Yeah, I'm sure she's really helping all of these people, just like Michael Avenatti. In court documents that were previously exclusively revealed by the U.S. Sun, Wendy's ex-husband Kevin petitioned a judge in their divorce case to order the Guardian to resume his alimony payments that ceased in February. Of course, her ex-husband's siphoning her money. Go get a job, bro. Additionally, her son Kevin Hunter Jr. alluded to the Guardian's tight control of Wendy's money when he was evicted from his luxury apartment in September after his mother's finances were frozen in February, leaving him unable to keep up with his steep $6,800 a month payment. Interesting. This is I'm learning a lot here. One source close to the situation told the U.S. Sun that Kevin Jr. was not enrolled in college in the spring and that in part impacted his ability to access certain funds that were earmarked by Wendy to assist in his schooling. So this is way darker than just, her podcast not going through. This is about like family finances and this weird guardian control lawyer person who I think is involved in some other big names. The insider said the Guardian, in cutting the son off financially, reasoned that while not enrolled in school, the 22-year-old can get a job. Well, you should have told your ex-husband that. Instead of paying him alimony, he should go get a job. One source close to the situation also revealed that Sabrina also played a key part in facilitating Wendy's recent 2-month stay in the Malibu rehabilitation facility. And that's the thing that I think she did with Bam Margera. She sent him to some rehab facility in Florida or something like that. So this is crazy. I thought maybe she just was not going to do the podcast because she wanted to go back to TV. But this is a much deeper story about her family and her finances and being, taken control of by some weirdo guardian lawyer woman who was probably scamming her while pretending that everybody else is doing the scamming, even though her ex-husband is probably scamming. He should not be collecting money. He should go get a job. And the son should go get a job too if he's not going to go to college, which you shouldn't in New York because that is a scam of all scams, but completely different story. They should both go get a job, and she should probably just do her podcast. She doesn't have to go back on TV. She's getting up there. She doesn't look amazing. She never did. She looks like a drag queen for the third time. But Wendy, look, you did it. You made it, right? And the industry is clearly taking its toll on you. That's why you ended up in rehab. You don't need to go back to work. You already made it. Maybe, do the podcast, have a hobby, learn golf or bowling or tennis or something, and make those, make your son and make your husband go get jobs and stop providing everything for them. But thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and of course, subscribe.